So I wanted to do just this last little video in closing for today, and then I won't do anything probably until Saturday or Sunday. Like I said before, Joey will be with his mom down in St. Pete this weekend. Her twin sister is coming down from Illinois with her daughters. They're going to have a little spring break get together. I miss those. I never got to meet my ex-sister-in-law's daughters. They were both born after the divorce. But even though we don't talk, we do comment on things every now and again. She and I, my ex-sister-in-law, are still friends on Facebook, so when she posts something about the girls, you know, I see it, and I always like it. Wish I could have got to meet him. Anyway, this video is regarding really a comment I got last night, and I'm not coming at anybody. I've had a lot of people in the past get in their feelings when I say, you know, I got this comment or I got that comment and I wanted to address the topic for everyone. I've had people, you know, get angry, acting like I'm coming after them, you know. And that's not what I'm doing. I don't mention, you know, I don't mention the names of commenters. You know, you can see who makes what comment, but I don't mention their names. I'm not calling anybody out. And this is, you know, just to address something that was mentioned, said. I don't recognize the that particular commenter's name, so I imagine you're a new viewer, or you know, they're a new viewer if they don't see this. But they had said, you know, I don't think you're going to get anywhere with GoFundMe. You know, you're not going to be able to pay off your house. It seemed like maybe they were, you know, preoccupied. I didn't really understand the way they worded it. But I wanted to, you know, come on here and address this for, you know, the new viewers that may not have seen a previous video where I did address this. I have addressed this before, but, you know, with new viewers, and, you know, nobody's going to sit and go through 70 plus videos, 80 videos of just me sitting, you know, and talking, especially if I'm not talking about anything terribly interesting. And that is regarding the GoFundMe itself. And I want you all to please understand, GoFundMe was never meant to be a solution. It was never meant to be a long-term solution. It was never meant to be a short-term solution. I started GoFundMe, you know, last June, last July. Might have been last June. I don't remember exactly. But I think it was before the transmetatarsal amputation, which occurred last July. I started the GoFundMe because I knew, you know, that I was facing issues that were going to be more than I could handle alone. And I have no financial support. I live on SSDI. My parents live on my dad's SSDI, which is considerably less than I get because I have my son as a beneficiary dependent, so I get like 150%. I get, you know, my percent. I get my SSDI check, and then I get a secondary amount check that is 50% of what I get for my son for his care and upkeep. You know, which includes paying the bills. So that's what I do with it. If it was just me, I would not be here. I could not ever have paid, you know, a mortgage on what I get alone. But what I get, and then what I get for my son, I have been able to, you know, by the skin of my teeth, pay the mortgage and pay the bills and the living. But I had no extra, you know, I had nothing to fall back on. That had all been used up. Anything I had, you know, saved, which was minimal, during, you know, before the divorce, was used to pay the attorney for the divorce. And I still owe that attorney, not a lot. I think it's like $400 and something that I still owe that attorney's office, and they call me now and again, and, you know, I keep them updated, and I constantly tell them, you know, as soon as I'm able to, I will get you all paid off. They're not fighting about it. They're not worried about it. It's something that hangs over my head that I one day want to clear off, but right now I can't, and they understand that. But I have nothing to fall back on. I have no cushion, I have no safety net, and I have no support system. My parents are just as broke as me. They don't have a mortgage to pay, but they have all the other same bills, and they're both constantly fighting with their, you know, doctors and whatnot. My dad has Medicare, and even though he is a bona fide senior citizen, he still has to fight with Medicare to get them to cover things he needs done. My mom, even though, you know, she's 61, she's been trying to get on Medicare for a long time. Been trying to draw, you know, Social Security because, you know, she worked her whole life just like my dad did, paid into the system. That money, you know, technically hers. And she can't work, you know, she's got so many heart problems, and she's been fighting for years, and, you know, they won't give it to her. If they both drew Social Security, you know, that would be huge, because they would then be getting, you know, close to the same amount that I get per month, but they don't have the mortgage. They'd be able to help me a lot more, and you know, we wouldn't be in this mess that we're in now. But all three of us are flat broke. I have my one really good friend, you know, my best friend. He's a working man. He takes care of his life, and he helps his elderly mother out. You know, I can't fall back on him. I wouldn't, you know, I couldn't. It pained me for him to come out here every couple of weeks to cut my grass while I was in the hospital. You know, we got two good family friends. Jeff, who ended up putting new tires on my parents' Jeep because I couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it. And that was, you know, a godsend. And then Jared, who came out and did the tune-up for my folks because I couldn't get out there to do it. But they're both working men, you know, and Jeff, God love him, his wife, you know, had open heart surgery a month or two ago now, And, you know, it's been a tough road for her and a tough road for him. You know, he's always there by her side, and they're both working men. So I have no, support system that a lot of people do. I have nobody that I can move in with. I have nobody that I could, ask for help. The only person that I know that is capable, would be capable of helping me is my ex-wife. She's a pharmacist and she makes like 150 grand a year. But I think that if I died today, she would dance a little jig. She very much hates the way the divorce worked out. She did not want this house. She hated this house. She said that, it was, she didn't like that it was an old house. She wanted a new fancy modern house, even though the new fancy modern house she's renting right now is having so many structural problems and it's barely 5 years old. She didn't want the land, it was too much to take care of. Not that she ever took care of it. I always took care of it. And the house. She didn't want any of this. What she did want is she wanted to sell the house. And she wanted to make damn sure that she got as much as she could and that I got as little as possible. She tried to structure the divorce so that we would sell the house and, she would get half free and clear, and any fees, anything that needed to be fixed around the house, before it was sold, whatever, would come out of my portion. And I didn't want to do that because, I knew how hard it would be to relocate even back then. And I still had stage 4 cancer hanging over my head, and I had newly ruined heart hanging over my head. And now, the love of my life, the woman that I loved and trusted more than anyone else in my life, was turning around, doing me dirty, stabbing me in the back, and I needed something to hold on to, and that was home. So, I cannot ask her for help. And even if I got so low and grovelly as to do so, she would not give it. So I have to do this alone. Plus, asking her for help would be, that would also, she wouldn't give it, but it would satisfy her because she would know that I failed. And I think she would take some enjoyment out of that. Like I've said before, I don't talk down on her, I don't put her down, but I also am real when it comes to her. And I cannot help but be honest. I'm not going to kick her and put her down, but I'm also not going to blow smoke up her ass either. Excuse me. I don't have any help. The GoFundMe was never meant to be a solution. It was never even meant to be a subsidy. It was just meant to help out when and where it could. So I don't want anyone thinking that, I'm sitting here on my ass doing nothing, counting on GoFundMe to save me. I'm not. I did ask, these last couple of months for help to get current on my mortgage. And, as much as I hate it, I hate GoFundMe. I hate doing this. you notice, I never talk about it through the video. I never open my video with please donate. I never ask you to donate. It's always at the very end of my videos. GoFundMe link is in the description. If you would like to help out, care to donate, want to donate. And I always say, if you can't or don't want to, that's fine too. I understand that. I say that both in the videos and in the video description, and the GoFundMe, dropping the GoFundMe link is always the last thing that I do, and it's brief. I hate doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't know how to make y'all understand. I hate asking strangers for help. I hate asking anybody for help, but it is a low for me to ask strangers for help. It makes me sick. But I didn't know what else to do. And, when I looked on GoFundMe, there's a lot of good causes on there. I saw some campaigns and some causes that, in my personal opinion, were not, really worthwhile. That I don't, I would have said, no, I'm not going to donate to that. You can work that out yourself. Or, that's not, I'm not going to donate just because you want to travel. But, I thought, that maybe I'm a regular guy. I'm honest. I try to be a good guy. I'm in a bad situation. Maybe there would be somebody out there that could help me out. And I have received help on GoFundMe. I've received almost $6,000, which is great, and it has helped so much. And I've always said, if I'm ever able to repay you, I'm going to repay you. And that's not just, to repay you, that's not just for you, that's for me. I can't abide being anybody's debt. I want to repay you because that's the kind of person that I am. I don't know if I'll ever be able to, but if I am, I'm going to do it. I know everyone on here has said, that's a gift. We don't expect that back. And that is really beautiful, and it makes me feel really good to know that there's people out there like that. But at the same time, if somebody helps me out, I want to help in return. It doesn't always have to be money. Somebody helps me, I help them. But at the same time, I don't personally know y'all. It's not like I can come over and fix your car for you. But if I have the money, I can give it back. That's what I want to do. Not just for you, but for me. I'm going to leave the GoFundMe up, for now. If I find another way to get around, this freaking mortgage issue, bankruptcy. One of my longtime followers sent me a private message over GoFundMe and made a suggestion that I have looked into before, but I realized that the information that I received may not have been factual, and that I was probably talking to the wrong person, especially since I have gotten to know and be used to Rocket Mortgage. So I'm going to make deeper inquiries. There are no guarantees, but this is something that I found, I thought about before and was advised against, so I did not do it. But it may be another way, and a way to avoid bankruptcy, which would not hurt me severely if I had to do that, because like I've said, I don't plan on taking out any loans or credit cards or anything like that. If I had $20 million in the bank, I would never buy a new car, so that's neither here nor there. But this may be a this may be a solution that I can make work. So, I'm going to look into it. I'm not going to talk about what it is because, I talked about it, the possible solution last time, and that bombed. But I may have another alternative aside from bankruptcy, and if it turns out to not work, then bankruptcy is still there. And if I get to a point where I can shut down the GoFundMe, I am going to do that. So I just wanted to get that out there. This ended up being longer than I wanted it to. I'm always so damn long-winded. Long way around a short block, that's me. I'll shut it down here. I get my son in just a little while, less than an hour, and I'll have him until about 5:30 tomorrow evening, and then he's going down south with his mom. So I'll probably do something else this weekend. Maybe I'll do a video on an old Dagger over there, my guitar. I'll show it closer and talk about it, explain the name Dagger. Just give me something to talk about, something to post for views, I guess. But I'm done for now. Hope you all have had a great week and a great day, and let's just keep doing it. Y'all have a great evening, and I will talk to you later on. And again, very end, last time, GoFundMe is in the description. If you want to donate, it's there. Thank you. If you don't, I understand. Have a great day. Bye-bye.